Namaskar. Today we are going to discuss about annual property returns and property returns to be submitted at the time of joining in the as part of conduct rules. Every government servant, when he joins government service, he has to submit a statement in the format, all the liabilities and assets, movable and immovable, everything he has to give completely, whether it is owned or inherited or purchased or whatever it is. Same way, liabilities also they have to give completely. Now, if a person joins again, suppose somebody joins in a government service, then within 2 years he gets another appointment through direct recruitment, so he goes there and join. So this record will be called there and that will be added. So there is no need to give again the initial submission of documents. So every year government servant has to submit annual property return. Normally it is applicable for Group A and Group B officers, but nowadays government they take for everybody. Now, that is another issue. And every purchase or sale of immovable property has to be intimated in advance. Prior intimation has to be given for all purchase and sale of immovable properties. If the properties are movable and the value is like movable in the sense a TV, fridge, car, washing machine or something like that. So if that cost is more than 2 months basic pay of the government servant, then intimation has to be given within 1 month of completion of the transaction. This is for buying or selling the movable properties. Now, but whether it is buying or selling of movable or immovable property, if the transaction is going to be done with person who is having official dealings with the government servant, then prior permission has to be taken, giving all the information that this person is having official dealing with me on this project or on this work. Now I am buying this one. All background you have to give. Government will examine completely, and if government give permission, then you can go on. This is the rule. So now we are going to discuss about that. And this annual property return, I will give brief in the end this thing, because it is compulsory for everybody nowadays. Otherwise, vigilance clearance will be denied. So let us see one by one. Every government servant shall on his first appointment to a service or post submit a return of his assets and liabilities in such form as may be prescribed. Format is prescribed and given in the office. You can correct one form and you have to fill up. And giving the following particulars. What are the particulars? The immovable property inherited by him, or owned or acquired by him, or held by him on lease or mortgage, either in his own name or in the name of any member of his family, or in the name of any other person. What does it mean? Any other person, you have interest in that, then you will have to give in writing. Immovable property inherited by him, that we have discussed. And now, shares, debentures and cash, including bank deposits, inherited by him, similarly owned or acquired, held by him. And other movable property inherited by him. So car is given by parents, so inherited by him, similarly owned or acquired by him. And debts and other liabilities, any loans also we will have to indicate in that, whether it is direct loan or indirectly for somebody else you are paying, everything you have to indicate here. Suppose in the movable property return, in the return there will be column for immovable property and movable property also. If it is movable property and items worth less than 10,000 need not be given, you all other items you club it and make it. But items like clothes, utensils, crockeries, books, etc. need not be included in the return. So all other furnitures, you club everything. If it is less than 10,000, you add together all furnitures together this much. But individually, if it is more than 10,000, you have to give separately. Now, second and subsequent appointment, there is no need for submitting this initial submission of the return. Now, every government servant belonging to any service or holding any post, including Group A and Group B, shall submit an annual return in such a form as may be prescribed. This is actually for every calendar year. The submission has to be done before 31st January of following year. For 2023, January 31st, 2024 is the last date for submission of annual property return for both movable and immovable property. If you have not got any transaction during the year, you can just say nil and close it, because you already submitted initial property return. This will be clubbed with that. So there is no additional things now. Suppose you got something and you are intimated during the year, those things will come here. If you are not intimated, it's an issue, so you have to be very careful. And every year, whenever there is a change that you are buying new one or you have sold existing one, yes, you write it in the annual return and submit to the office before end of January 31st of next year. Suppose the person fails to give. Now, DOPT guidelines are very clear on that. Vigilance clearance for the year will be stopped. Normally, some department they issue warning and then collect even later date, but in the rule you have to submit in time. And CVC guidelines also says if somebody fails, direct him to submit. They can call for explanation. They can take action for that. So these are all another point. And vigilance clearance will be denied, will not be given in case the annual return is not filed by a person for whatever reason. Vigilance clearance will be required for your normal retirement. Even if you resign also, it will be required. If you go on foreign tour, you have to take permission for that. Vigilance clearance will be required. If you apply for passport, vigilance clearance will be required. If you are getting promoted, vigilance clearance will be required. If you are getting financial upgradation like 10, 20, 30 years, assured career progression, if that falls during that year where you have failed to submit it, and vigilance clearance will be denied, then till you submit, your promotion will be delayed. So don't forget to submit annual property return, and don't forget to intimate in advance, that is make prior intimation about your purchase of immovable properties. Immovable properties, land, building, houses, etc. Suppose you buy something which is movable thing and which is costing less than 2 months basic pay, there is no need. But if it is more than 2 months basic pay, you have to inform within 1 month of completion of transaction. But whether it is immovable property or movable property, if you do this with the person who is having official dealing with you, then you have to take prior permission, whether it is for immovable property or movable property. Okay, then you can, then our rule says I can give after 1 month. No, that is only intimation. Here you are having a transaction with a person who is having official dealing with you. So you have to get prior permission, giving all particulars. If government gives permission, of course you can go ahead with the transaction. Now, if sanction is not taken for such transactions, it will be a problem. And same way, if you are going to buy something outside India or sell something which you have outside India, you have to take prior approval of the prescribed authority. This is the rule. And this annual return has to be positively, necessarily given by 31st January 2024 for the year 2023. Now with this we have completed the conduct rules pertaining to property returns also. Now there is one more video which is about having employee or hiring employee with less than 14 years. That is minor employment is prohibited. One or two smaller things, with that we will be completing the conduct rules. Thank you.